Hi guys, this is a video response to Jill Norwood's Sharing Holiday Joy. I do not have time to curate. As you can see, I just took out a bunch of stuff that was literally on my desk and put it in this box that already had a good start of Christmas. This is what I will be doing probably tomorrow, is putting little things together for my nieces and their families. So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. I talked to Jill and I asked her if it was okay if I shared a story instead, a holiday tradition, so to speak. And she said absolutely, positively. And since you guys like my stories, what the heck, right? So I'll move this aside and I will share an ornament with you guys and tell you a little story. So this is obviously a handmade ornament. This was made by my mother after we moved here, and it was one of my Christmas presents, and I laughed and laughed and laughed. It's a pink sweater and white boots. And the reason that this is significant is because this is a family tradition. When my mom was in here, I'll hang it on the wreath I've got to do tonight. Okay, we'll do that. When my mom was in high school, a senior in high school, in fact, excuse me, she wanted nothing more for Christmas than her Letterman sweater. And my mother's parents were a family of 6 and really poor. The sweater was $25, and that was 3 weeks' wages for my grandfather. Now you have to remember, back in that day, a loaf of bread was like 3 cents. So, but, you know, I mean, with house payments and, you know, school activities, and my uncle played football, and, you know, so, that was a lot of money. That was a lot of money. And my grandmother was very, very, very gifted and making the dollars stretch and managing to scrimp a penny or two here and there from groceries to get everybody Christmas. Now, my uncle was just a year younger than my mother, and he approached her one day and he said, and he was the ham in the family, and he said, "Hey, Red, I'll tell you what you're getting for Christmas if you tell me." And she says, "Okay." He says, "You go first." Well, my uncle wanted a train. Now, granted, he was in high school, but he wanted a train. He collected electric trains. And to the day he died, he collected electric trains. He loved trains. And he wanted some fancy train. I don't even remember what it was. And it was expensive as well. And my mother says, "Well, you're getting that train that you wanted." And he was so excited. He just couldn't hardly contain himself. But he managed on Christmas morning to pretend to be so surprised. And my mom says, "Okay, what am I getting?" And he says, "Pink sweater and white boots." My mother was devastated. Number one, she hates pink. I mean, hates pink. I tolerate pink. I loved pink as a child. And when she used to tell me when I was a kid that I was getting a pink sweater and white boots for Christmas when I'd ask, I was excited. I was like, "Ooh, pink sweater, white boots, yay!" But as I got older, it was not so fun. So it became a tradition that when you asked what you were getting for Christmas, no matter what your sex was, you were getting a pink sweater and white boots. Hence the ornament. I remember one year my dad asked my mom, he says, "So, what'd you give me for Christmas?" She says, "Pink sweater, white boots." It was so funny because he was reading the newspaper and he heard him drop the newspaper to his lap. And you go, And I was in the other room and I busted up laughing. Oh, it was so funny. Oh, he got so disgusted whenever she said that. Hey, Mom, what am I getting for Christmas? Pink sweater and white boots. So the next time somebody asks you what you got them for Christmas, tell them pink sweater and white boots and see their reaction. Especially if it's your husband. Oh, hysterical. My fondest Christmas present had to be a coat. I'll try to give you guys the short version. I was in grade school and I needed a new winter coat. So my mother made me a new winter coat and gave it to me for Christmas. Now, this coat was fur-lined, fake fur, and it was vinyl. And it looked like, I want to say it was like beige. And she put some of the fur on the outside. I mean, my mom sewed like a professional. So it was the latest fashion. It really was. And it had a big fat hood on it. And it was so comfy and cozy and warm. And I came from a place that was very wicked cold. Well, on the way to my school, which was, I had to walk almost a mile. There was this little area that dipped down and it had a pond. Well, after school one day I seen all these kids and they had their toboggans and they were sliding down the hill onto Pollywog Pond. And it was solid ice. And I was like, oh man, I didn't bring my toboggan. And I didn't want to walk the rest of the way home, which was almost the mile, and then walk back up the hill with my toboggan. And I'm like, Well, I was pretty gutsy back then. So I pulled my coat over my butt and slid down the hill. I must have been up there for at least a half an hour, sliding down the hill, head first, butt first, on my coat. I was so excited. My coat was an instant sled. And I mean, it was an instant sled. This is the first day I've worn it since I got it to school. This was the first day back. I came home, I walked to the door, I said, Mom, you're the best ever. She goes, huh? What did I do? I said, you made me a coat that's better than a sled. I politely took my coat off, hung it over the back of the chair so it could dry, because by this time it was soaking wet, and walked into my room to change my clothes, which is what I was supposed to do. I hear my mother in the kitchen go, ah! I come around the corner, I'm like, what's the matter, Mama? She goes, Fellaine Ali. I go, what? She goes, look what you did to your coat. She showed me the back of the coat. All the vinyl was worn down. My mother had spent hours on that coat, and there was no vinyl on the back. From the tip of the hood down to the butt, it was bare. Or nearly bare. Oh, I was in so much trouble. I got such dirty looks for the next 3 days while my mother and my dad, my mom made my dad go with her. She went and picked out new vinyl. She made a new coat for me to wear to school. The other coat was for play only. She actually took the back out of it and patched it so I still had my sled. And they bought me a toboggan. And they bought me a toboggan that could roll up and I could take with me in my book bag. So yeah, that was the winter that I almost got strangled. So anyway, this is my curating for Christmas video, my stories, my box of mess. Thank you, Jill, for hosting the challenge again. I love this challenge. I had big plans. I had this old suitcase that I got. That was my mother's, that I was going to put all this cool stuff in, and I was going to do it, and I'm just... You guys, I am so tired. Seriously, I am so tired. It's not even funny. I have so much yet to do. And I don't feel like I'll be done until Christmas Eve. I gotta take my mom her Christmas yet, so gotta do that and clean up the house. I still have a few decorating corners to do, but I wanted to share my ornament with you guys. This is probably one of my most precious ornaments that I own because Mom made it and it was just such a big joke, and it's still a big joke, and even my kids got a kick out of it. So but anyway, so that's my video, that's my stories, and I thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you next video. I might have one more this week. I don't know, honestly. I have got to do a little bit of sewing, and I've got some work to do, and some Christmas ornaments and packages to put together, and then I can say I'm done. So anyway, I hope that everybody has a happy holidays, the best new year, and much peace and love. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Make a happy memory, please.